Hello, I'm CammyG, and welcome back to our Save the World guides. So we are on the Dungeons guides, and we're doing the Labyrinth this time, so all the general advice for Dungeons, plus all of the specific advice and guide for the Labyrinth map. So this is the one that's a maze in like a haunted mansion type thing. It's like a hotel mansion type vibe, and there's a lot, again, like the grotto, there's a lot that's different on this one. The visuals are different, the layout is very different, there's a unique mechanic in this one, and then the boss, honestly, the boss is one of the easier ones. I would say it is the second easiest behind Inferno, in my opinion. You could argue the lab is the easiest if you get enough blue glow. I mean, yeah, kinda, I guess, but that's part of the boss. Anyway, we digress. You'll be seeing that in the next guide. Anyway. But yeah, for the Labyrinth. I don't know if I'm going to keep that burping or not, but if I'm saying this, I'll probably keep it in. So, the top floor on this one is slightly different. It's still the same area, but you'll see the mansion in the middle. Same advice for the start is to go in the middle of the mazes? Mazes? The monoliths. Because you raise them, I just mixed that up. So you go in between them, you want to shoot the one at the start, open up the key, shoot the furthest one, shoot the closest one, and then just open up the area that leads to the door. Then what you can do is get your speed boost from the shockwave again. That's a perk, by the way, that's not just a natural thing that happens. Inside you can see it's nice and fancy walls, it's the mansion vibe. And then yeah, open the door. So if you pay attention to the Dungeon Master, whatever he's called, if you pay attention to what he's saying, you'll actually hear him say he's going to drain your life force. I'd be remiss if I weren't to drain your life force or so. But yeah, we'll get to that in a sec, just because on the first floor, you have a few different directions you could choose. Easiest way to do it is just find where the key is, go in that direction. Over here it's nice and close. What we can do is actually get a monolith on the way here. Look out for them as well, extra monoliths above and around, because it can really slow you down, especially if you're doing a speed run, if you don't get multiple monoliths before getting the key. But as you can see, we've got the key now. You don't need to get chests on this one, actually. We're going to skip the chests, unless you're doing a challenge for it. Now it's just to try find some more monoliths. I think we might be able to shoot this one from here, potentially. Yeah, you can see it on the minimap, even if it's not on your floor. And then, sadly, I don't think we can shoot another one from here, so I'm just going to go up. And this is the way back, but I'm actually going to go a long way around. Down here? Because we effectively just need to find one more monolith before we can go back, but you don't want to go too far away, which we kind of did a little bit, but it's alright. So that's quick. Cancel it straight away. If you're using our loadout, which we'll show the loadouts at some point, but if you're using our main loadout, you can get Going Commando back very, very quickly. And all you need to do is just retrace your steps back to where you got. You don't have to go exactly the same way back, so this way is probably quicker because of the lanterns there, the purple lanterns, trying not to have too many bad things going here. But yeah, the life drain force, you want to get a shield as soon as you can. Sorry, I'm just in the middle of the combat. We'll just take a break after we open the door here. You want to look out for the shields. Now you can see them all on the minimap, no matter how far away you are. Generally, they do last a while, and if you use our loadout, you'll also notice we have Healing Death Burst. No, that's Survivalist Jonesy for healing on eliminations, which means that as long as you're killing a few enemies here and there, you should be fine, even without, getting a shield. But generally, you're going to want to get a shield at some point. Now, if you are speedrunning, we're just going to grab it here, but if you are speedrunning, unless you get one on your main path or very close to it, I just skip them. You should be fine. In a 140, however, that advice just changed. And if you are in a 140, I would recommend getting a shield, at the start, and then when it's starting to run out, I would advise that. Again, for the keys, they are a bit more difficult on this map. I mean, it is a maze. That's what Labyrinth means. That word just means maze, effectively. So it's one huge maze for each of the floors. The higher up the floor, the more complex the maze. So, of course, it's going to get harder and harder. But you can use your sort of hints that the game gives you By that I mean where the key is, the purple lights, memory of where you've been. So as soon as I've got the key, I can see these purple lights, and now I'm going to follow them, and here's the door, straight away. It's actually super... a great example of when it turns out nice, but we do have gameplay that I can play in the background now of when it's not nice. And yeah, you're not always going to be able to find your way straight away. Now, generally, each time you go on a new floor as well, you will find a new shield, so you can go ahead and grab that, top it up. Bearing in mind as well, if you are in multiplayer, you will be sort of sharing these. They will apply to people around you, but you're not really going to be that close to each other. Now, on this third floor, there's like a long corridor. What I like to do is just basically get to an opening that's closest in line with the key, if you look at the minimap there, and then I'll go on this route, however you pronounce that in your native tongue. And yeah, you can then generally get fairly easily to the key. Now, it's below us. I think there's a way down somewhere around here. I'm just going to block these guys from following me. Yeah, if you follow this round, got a way down. It's still further down, so I'm just going to look. All right. Well, that wasn't meant to happen. Not to panic. If that does happen for you, do not worry. So, for the hero loadouts you want to use for dungeons, the main one I recommend is using Going Again as the core perk, so that decreases Going Commando cooldown by 66%. Combining this with Happy Holidays means that your cooldown, if you go to abilities, is 20.4 seconds, which means after you use it for 15 seconds, there's only 5 seconds to use it again, or if you cancel it after 5 seconds, it's just 15 seconds before you can use it again. You know, if you're just taking out one monolith, or whatever it might be. Now, you can increase the duration by 5 seconds with Ain't Done Yet. First Cup of the Day will increase the crit rating and crit damage. Boomstick will increase the damage. Escape Artist will give you a movement speed increase after using Shockwave. And then Survivalist in that last spot just to keep your health up. Now, if you do want to go for a lefty-righty build, I do recommend Carbide. So his pistols will turn into energy. They will bounce around, and you know, in dungeons, everything's like a tight space. It'll just bounce around, destroying everything. The only downside is his cooldown is 60 seconds, even with Happy Holidays in there. There's no cooldown reduction percentage perk, but there is Where's Lefty. I don't have it in my build, but every time you get pistol eliminations outside of lefty and righty, it will decrease the cooldown by a second. It's something potentially you could put in, but you're not really going to be guaranteed to have a pistol in dungeons because it's just random weapons and stuff, so I don't personally recommend it, but it's up to you. We've got increased damage by 25%. We've got increased the duration by 10 seconds if you get 10 eliminations. Not super important, but nice to have. Hand cannons will just give more explosive power, so it might end up, you know, just happening to destroy another urn, for example. Escape Artist, again, for that movement speed. And then Survivalist, again, for the survivability. Now, the last one you could potentially use is... I mean, there's plenty of stuff you can use, but these are the best ones. If you really like Constructor, you can go in Constructor build, and you know, you could just replace some of these with hardware impact, stuff like that. The main thing is having rigs in the main slot, having Happy Holidays, and you'd want Hotwire in there as well. Survivalist is nice for the health. Battlebeat just increases the damage with eliminations and stuff. But yeah, these two could work on your impact stuff, but he's not really like a main hero to use. It's just one that I thought I'd throw out there. It doesn't matter if you get teleported. You can still find your way back to where you were and or where the key is. So for this one, again, I would advise just keeping the key at the top of your map if you can. Here we go, we found it quite easily. I'm just going to wait by this monolith. Might actually just be quicker to shoot it with this than it is to wait for my Going Commando to come back. Just get those off my tail, off my back, off my tail. I don't know, one of those. And we're just going to look for an area that has the purple lights again. Look at top of our shield. Doesn't really matter too much. We're on the last floor, so it's going to be over soon. Our shield probably wouldn't have started draining, or a health and shield. Now this might have been the wrong way. It's hard to tell because I haven't come across any of the purple lights yet. But that's the, you know, sort of experience of playing the maze. I don't play this one as much, but if you eventually get to the main path with the purple lights, you can then follow those to the exit. But as you play more and more, you will get used to it. There's a few shortcuts like this, for example. You can just jump down instead of following it all the way around. I don't know all of them. I don't play this one as much. So you guys will probably end up finding shortcuts faster than me on this one. I think I might have gone the wrong way here. This looks like it's going to lead to a dead end or something. Potentially, I don't know. I think we've already been up here, have we not? I'm not sure. It looks familiar. I think I might have repeated myself. But as I say, the more you play, the more you'll get used to the design. It is very similar each time. In fact, I think it's the same layout. It's just different locations for the monoliths and the key. Oh, this isn't good. So don't panic. What I'm going to do is I threw a grenade that got rid of most of the close enemies, and then I'm just going to wait for the troll to come and use my melee, as that is the most effective way to get it. And yeah, as long as you don't panic, you should be fine. So I think I'm supposed to... actually, this is the exit. This is the exit here. We got there in the end. I don't like this map as much. That's why I've said it a few times. And yeah, oh, we still need another monolith. I am stupid. So, some advice for you there. I actually planned this. Is you might rush into getting to the exit before you've actually got enough monoliths for it. So in that case, I think we've been here because there's weapons. I'm already lost. I hate this map. I hate it so much. Yeah, if that happens, you can usually just retrace your steps where you came from until you find a monolith. And then you can get the key, and then follow where you came from to go back. Now, just to show the point around the health and the shield, I'm not going to pick up another shield, and you'll see that you can survive it. You don't need the shield. It's not life or death. It is a fairly slow drain, just like in regular missions when you're on one of the maps where they have a storm. It's effectively like that. You know, it doesn't drain that quickly. You can out heal it with Survivalist Jonesy or your Adrenaline Rush or any other, healing perk. So what I'm just going to do is go straight down to the boss area, and what I like to do is run to the right, put my turrets down. He spawns over there, so you can see him spawning, and we can just very quickly deal with this guy. Look at that, we are solo, he's dead already. Easy stuff, and we've got enough health left. If we needed to, we could heal, we'd be full health again. So yeah, it's fine. The boss fight is easy. The only hard part in the maze one is getting lost and finding your way back, because they don't have the purple lights on every single, intersection. So you have to have a good memory, good sense of direction. I don't have those, so you guys will probably succeed a bit more. But we've given the general advice for the unique parts of this map, this dungeon, and hopefully you guys will use those and find them useful. If you did, please do let me know in the comments. If you have any suggestions, also let me know in the comments, and I will see you in a future one. Cheers, see you later.